Bonjour, welcome back to another episode of Paris Today, powered by Flow. I'm your host, Trishana McGowan, and back with me, the two lovely gentlemen from the Jamaica Observer, sports content manager, Andre Lowe, and the sports reporter, Daniel Blake. Gentlemen, good to have you back.
It's good to be back.
Good to be here. Well, go on, everybody. Big up.
Big up, don't it? So, when we last spoke, the choice of words used were concern. I would trust Stephen Francis and so on and so forth, based on some of the things he said, regarding Sharika, Tia, Kishane. Those are the three he spoke about mostly. Now, here we are hearing that Sharika has withdrawn from the 100 meters for the women because, I guess, injury and not being fully fit to commit to doing the double. Yeah. I am disappointed, but I'm happy that they're on the side of caution. Instead of sending her out there and, maybe she's sustaining something more severe, I would not be able to finish the championship. So just go in the 200 meters and possibly let us see how the body will hold up for the relay. So you heard the news as well. My team, how you reacted or felt in that moment when you heard it?
Well, I mean, like everybody else in Jamaica, I think, neutral fans across the world, there was some disappointment, right? Because, yes, this is news that was kind of percolating. You kind of hear say, Sharika not at her best. You've seen it too, just based on how the season has gone. But when you heard Stephen Francis, who's normally a man of his word anyway, I will say, someone say, she's doing well, she's fit and ready is what I saw in the press. It kind of got some hope that, okay, maybe she has recovered well, she's responding well to treatment and she can pull it off, right? But all in all, I'm pretty sure any decision that was taken by Sharika and her coaches, and she did say that it was a decision by herself and her coaches, I'm sure it was done in the best interest of Sharika. And that's the important thing, right? Clearly, she was not in a condition to manage the 100 meter rounds and then the 200 meter rounds.
And a leg off the 4x1 possibly.
Exactly. And now they're saying they're trying to get her ready for the 200 meters. So we're hopeful that in fact she will be fit for the 200 meters. There's still some concern in that regard, right? And there's also bad news, everybody. Still some concern that she'll even be ready for the 4x1. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. But I mean, naturally, we're disappointed. Of course.
That the last time we spoke, I'm telling us, I'm not like concern, I'm telling us, we're stressed out, we're in a problem.
Yeah.
Daniel, your take?
Disappointed, knowing that she had a chance of doing the sprint double from what we've seen over the years. She seemed to have fixed a lot of her mechanics and was getting to a stage where she could have been a legit 1-2 at the Olympics. But throughout the season, she's competed sparingly, and you can somewhat understand from 2021, she's competed in over 100 races. That includes, the national championships, world championships, and so forth. So at some point, that does take a toll on your body, especially when you're going at that level. It's not like she was running 11-1 or 23-3 or anything like that. She was literally challenging these extremely fast times. My only hope is that she is actually okay to run the 200 meters. A lot of talk coming into this year is, could she challenge the world record? She herself has said, it may not happen because of her current state, but we're hoping that she is at a level where she can be very competitive in the 200, because, if
faces the starter.
Yes, so we're just hoping that her body holds up until then, and we'll see how she gets through those rounds.
And I think he said it best, Andre, that she has competed in a number of races since 2021. But for me, when you look at sports, and we're talking about sports, while the issue is surrounding Sharika and Shelley and Fraser Price also will be tentative in the minds of many because of how she would have started her season as well. Right. She's 37 years old. She recently pulled out of a meet. So the concerns are there. But for me, when you look at sports, especially for track and field, at the level of how our athletes compete, they're not just there competing and occupying space. They're challengers for the podium finishes. Sharika been going since very technical. 2014 was our last boys and girls championship. 2016 was our burst out here at Rio, getting bronze in the 400 meters, and she has gone ever since. Shelley and Fraser Price, just 1 year out because of pregnancy. She got that bronze in Rio despite running on 9 toes. So I agree with you about the number of races. Do you think, though, we take for granted the fact that, we're spoiled, but they're competing at this level? They're not just there to don the colors and the body get that wear and tear?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't play down the, let's say, the level of understanding, right, of Jamaica's track fans. I think we are some of the most informed in the world.
Yes, we are.
But for the more casual fans, I do believe there is a level of, let's say, taking things for granted, because the human body is not necessarily meant to go at these speeds, at these levels, at this level of consistency that our athletes deliver, and like you pointed out, Sharika, Shelley, these athletes have been performing at such a high level for like a decade, close to a decade, or whatever the cases, or more, right, in some cases, and it's going to take a toll. Daniel mentioned the 100 plus races that Sharika has contested since 2021.
Yeah.
Well, I remember last year doing some research on the Diamond League, and Sharika, by far, in terms of sprinters, ran the most races on the circuit. So it's just nature. That's just the way it is at times. It's unfortunate, and it's unfortunate that it's happening right now. At this point,
in the Olympic year,
it's what it is.
Yeah, but like we said, I think she'll be okay, and that's the important thing. So I know, with her being out of the 100 meters, our Jamaican people, empathize, because, like you said, the knowledge of our people. But let's now go to the other concerns they will have with her being out of the 100 meters. Not just about the medal tally for many and the country that will take a hit, but the relay is very important to us. And based on our quartet, I think we were looking good and poised to possibly walk away with gold medal in that women's event. When you look at the lineups that we would have, Danielle, that too, another stress factor, you think, just for the country and the team itself in Paris?
Well, when Stephen Francis said there aren't enough women for the 4x1, we were thinking, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
But now when news like this comes around, knowing that Shelley and Fraser Price also has her concerns as well, knowing that Kemba Nelson isn't actually in Paris right now, it does leave a bit of a worry in your mind to say, how will they set up? Because we don't expect Sharika to run in the heats, neither Shelley, and we won't know the condition Tia is in, and knowing that is also Stephen's athlete, there's a legitimate chance that 3 of our main women won't be running the 4x1.
Yes, why I
the
said
first round.
That's why I said to you that
yes,
we not have concert. We stress right out.
Yes, so I mean, I guess there's a possibility that we ask one of the hurdles runners to do that, but I think once we get to that final, no matter who runs that first round, I still believe that we have a legitimate chance of that gold medal. Yes, the Americans are in great shape, and we know that the type of runners they have with Shakira and Gabby Thomas and so forth. But as long as we're able to get to that final and we can show up with Shelley and Sharika and Tina, I still believe that we do have that gold medal shot.
Yeah, I mean, there is speed in the team, right? You mentioned the sprint hurdlers. You have a couple of girls in the 200 who could help out as well. But I do think, and I think a team official did mention today in an interview I heard, that they are now looking at possibly bringing in reinforcements. So that's
and Kemba and I think one of the reinforcement could be Kemba Nelson. She finished 5th, and she's over there in Spain, so she's not far away from Paris,
and has been training with the elite performance group there. So that's an easy solution, you would think, right? But it's never.
I like the drawback, I like the drawback. You think, right?
Easy with these things, right?
Yeah, it's never easy, and we're realizing that sometimes the federations are slipping up when it matters most.
It's not an easy job.
Yeah,
it's difficult work. I understand, I know, but sometimes you wish that there's greater foresight and planning and so forth.
Yeah, I agree with
Some of
you.
these cases.
But what I can say about that, to piggyback on that word, preparation is important in everything. Sasha Lee Forbes of Sprint Tech Track Club will now have to fill that slot in the absence of Sharika Jackson withdrawing from the event. Sasha Lee finished 4th at the national championships and, did very well. She got injured top part of the season, but I thought that she rebounded well to finished 4th at our national championships. It's a very tough field that we have here. And I thought that she did well to, get in there, and she handled business. So I know that she's training well. She wasn't training like an alternate from what I know. I'm not sure if anything would have changed since she has gone to Paris.
No, that's what we've been told. Since she got there, pretty much she has been training for the 100 meters pretty much.
Yeah, which is good. I believe that sometimes you find that alternates, Daniel, can be caught flat-footed. They're there in the mind of thinking, not gonna happen, man, so I might not get the chance, but they will fill that relay pool.
Yeah, but in truth, too, a lot of them too are preparing for meets after the
Olympic Games and stuff. Yeah.
So she would have been going through her paces. And the good thing is, of course, her coach, Maurice Wilson,
the technical leader
in Paris. So, she'll be well guided after.
Based on, I've watched her last season, and when she went sub-11, I've watched her again this season, even before the injury and afterwards. I trust that she's capable of getting to the semis. Of course, no, I think the doubt on many minds will she be able to now go one further?
I think my only thing with Sasha Lee is the mental side of it. So, for example, with the other athletes who are competing in Paris, from that moment in June when you qualified, you have mentally begun to prepare for that. So, yes, she has been training and so forth, but with 48 hours before you're supposed to compete.
She ready, man.
I mean, that it's easier said than done. Whereas where you have a month, 2 months worth of mental preparation, this is the Olympics. This is that, every other athlete has been preparing for this for an extremely long time. So now you really have to get in a mind frame where, yes, you may have been training as such, but now it's a turn on that mental side of it. Yes, she competed at the World Championships last year and did fairly well, making the semifinals. It's now turning on that notch to try and probably doing the same and maybe better, trying to get to that final.
All I'll say is it's a glorious opportunity for Sasha Lee, right? Carpe diem, right?
Can you imagine getting the news? Of course, she's going to be saddened that, wow, my teammate is down. Nobody wants to get that news that you're filling the slot because your teammate is down. But then you have to know quickly, like Daniel said, for those who are preparing mentally a long time, say, yeah, man, I know I'm going to run my individual event. She's now in the position where, like, wow, Giacomo, hope you got all right, but my time for shine.
Yeah, good opportunity for her. Not the best of seasons because of that injury that she had earlier. Still haven't, broken the 11-second barrier
for this season.
For this year. That might happen. From what I've kind of picked up, that might happen here in Paris, and I certainly think that she will make it to the second round, to the semifinals, and let's see what happens from there. She gets into the finals. Anything is possible.
And we don't want you watching and say Trishana, Andrea, or Daniel say she go finals or she not go do well. I just think that based on the season that she had this time around, it's a tough task. It's a tough task and it's a tough ask. But she I think opportunity, meeting itself.
Yeah.
So in all, not the news we wanted, but we trust that the women will be solid going forward. And Sharika, hopefully, if let's say she is at least 80%, let me throw that out before, we finish on this topic today. Let's say she's about 80%. I still have her winning gold or being on the podium if she's 80%. Let me go with Daniel. What do you think? If she's 80%.
80%
against Gabby and others.
It's possible, but knowing Gabby's form, I still think that if she's 80%, I think Gabby has the edge. So I'm hoping it's closer to 90%. And then I think that would be a better shot, but truly hope that she's 100%.
Yeah, 22.2, way off her best so far this year in the 200 meters. But if she's 80, she's definitely in the running for a podium spot.
All right, so you heard it from me and Andre Lowe, Daniel Blake, not the news we wanted to hear, Team Jamaica. And we are Team Jamaica, despite us sitting in this capacity. Share your views on, everything when you heard that Sharika will not be competing in the 100 meters. A big blow to the team, a big blow to the medal count based on what many would have had, not Daniel though. Daniel told us in previous show that 20 prospects, right, Daniel?
No, there's still 20 prospects, not 20 medals, 20 prospects.
See? All right, so make sure to leave your comments and also to like, share, and subscribe to the Jamaica Observer's YouTube channel and follow Jamaica Observer on all social media platforms, not just for the Olympics, You can start there, but not just for the Olympics.
True.
Thank you so much for watching Paris Today, powered by Flo. I'm your host, Trishana McGowan, and with me was Daniel Blake and Andre Lowe. Join us again next time.